Hello, my name is Joyanne Lynn Williams, and I'm the curator for the Bentley Rare Book Museum at Kennesaw State University. Due to COVID-19, we cannot host in-person rare book programs. Instead, it is my pleasure to provide you with remote access to a few interesting pieces that demonstrate the importance of books during World War II. Let's begin with Jim Crow's Last Stand. This volume of poetry was written by Langston Hughes and published by the Negro Publication Society of America in 1943. The poems in this volume address threats to democracy and freedom, both nationally and internationally. Why is this so important? Let's put ourselves back in 1943. America is deep in World War II, and the country feels united in its fight to defeat the Axis powers and preserve democracy. But on the other hand, Jim Crow laws still reign throughout the United States, making it impossible for African Americans to realize full citizenship. Hughes addresses this paradox throughout the volume, reminding readers that the struggle for freedom and liberty is not only a fight across the ocean, it is a fight right here at home. We see this theme addressed in a more direct way on the back cover of the publication. The publishers remind readers once again that Jim Crow cannot coexist with democracy and freedom, and that the struggle for racial equality is not separate from or of lesser importance than the global war. Now let's look at its condition. This volume is in good condition considering its vulnerable format. As you can see, it is literally stapled together. Although some of the pages are detached and the edges and covers are obviously weakened, it is still a readable and clean copy. Next, let's look at an example of how support of soldiers manifested through books. This is a first edition copy of Chills and Fever, which is a volume of poetry written by John Crow Ransom, published in 1924. When I first began analyzing this book a few months ago, I was thrilled yet confused by what I found on the dust jacket. Here we have an advertisement to buy war savings bonds and stamps. In addition, the advertisement encourages the reader to send this book to a USO library so a soldier can enjoy some good reading as well. This is an exciting find, but it seemed out of place for a 1924 book, considering America was not at war during that time. Thanks to a tip from our curator emeritus, Mr. Robert Williams, I was able to solve the mystery. Although this book is a first edition, printed in 1924, this copy was probably not sold during that time and was retained by the publisher. During wartime, the book was dressed with a new dust jacket and sold again. The back of the dust jacket is the final clue needed to confirm this theory, as it provides a list of other books sold by the publisher. Some of these books, such as A Treasury of American Song, were not published until the 1940s. Clearly, this was not the original dust jacket used for this book in 1924. We've got ourselves a wartime jacket. Finally, let's take a look at this paperback that is small in size but large in historical context. It has an interesting format, doesn't it? That's because this book is an Armed Services edition. The history of these books is rooted in the Victory Book Campaign, which was an effort on the home front initiated by the American Red Cross, the United Service Organizations, and the American Library Association, with the purpose of providing U.S. soldiers with reading material. Their efforts yielded millions of donated books from across the nation. However, many people donated hardcover books like the copy of Chills and Fever that we saw earlier, or books that were just not in great condition. Soldiers needed books that were lightweight and in good condition. To solve this problem, a group of publishers partnered with the U.S. government to develop small, horizontal books that could easily fit into pockets and bags. These books were not for resale. They were specifically for the war effort. Armed Services Edition books spanned a variety of topics and genres, including fiction by writers like Wilkie Collins and Howard Fast, and informational books about science and business. Armed Services editions positively impacted the U.S. after the war. These books helped popularize the paperback format and encouraged many soldiers to pursue higher education on the GI Bill. Thank you for attending this miniature edition of Rare Book Open House. To all of our patrons, we miss you dearly and we look forward to seeing you hopefully in the coming months. If you'd like to contact us or need more information about the Bentley Rare Book Museum, please visit rarebooks.kennesaw.edu or email us at rarebooks@kennesaw.edu.